Hi, my name's Pharaoh and welcome to another tip for the day video. And today I'm just going to take a very quick look at one particular element of wire twist and explain why it's important to keep an eye on exactly which orientation your wire points are and what can cause a strange anomaly. Here I have 4 light floors, and as you can see, the difference between these two and these two is their orientation. So these two, the black mark is pointing that way, and if we look at the wire connector, the top is this way, and here the black mark is on the right and the wire connector is pointing towards us. Now we all know wires have a direction, and we can tell which way up is by looking at this little flash shape or a lightning shape on the end of the wire. And this particular orientation suggests that the up is this way, so it's orientated upwards in this direction. And when we draw wires between different wire connectors, it dictates which direction the flash symbol is and in which direction up is. But we can get very different results depending on which wire connectors we choose. So in this orientation, we can see we knew this way was up, and you can see that these wires have been set very clearly such that this way to the right is up. And if we were to glitch something onto there, let's choose something with clear orientation, the extruded wall cap for instance. And as you can see, that clearly points upwards. So anything we glitch to this part, upwards will be off to our right here. This isn't the case with these two wires. If we zoom into the wires, we can see it seems to be pointing off in an odd direction up here. And if we glitch the same part, we get a very clear idea of which direction that is. And yet there's nothing really indicating why that should be, because we've just put 2 light floors here, 2 light floors here, drawn a wire between the points, and yet they're significantly different. And the reason they're different is that No Man's Sky has no way of telling which direction you want this wire. If you look at these 2 wire points, they're in line with each other, but they point towards each other. This from here upwards is here. And so if we draw a line from there to there, you can see immediately we get that skew effect. It's not even consistent with that one. So if we now glitch that part, it's off in that direction. No Man's Sky has no way of telling which way we want up to be, apart from the wires that we choose to draw our wires from. Potentially, it could say, well, the wire's pointing in this direction, therefore we should point everything upwards from here to here. But that wouldn't actually make any sense if you think about it, because the wire points that we've actually got are orientated in this plane, the plane of this little circle, and it doesn't give us anything pointing this way. We would need an actual wire connector that was flat in orientation to give us some indication of where up is. And so it just seems to just pick one. And there are ways that you can specify which direction it points by careful positioning of wires. But when we're doing that, we are giving No Man's Sky information about where we want up to be. And in this case, we haven't given it any information, so it's twisted the wire. Exactly the same as in this case, it's twisted the wire. Here, we very clearly have told it which way up is, because both of these wires have an endpoint where the up direction is in the plane of this circle, in this case over there somewhere. It's not pointing outwards over here. It's pointing in a direction that is compatible with, say, think of this as a compass point. We now know where north is. It's at number 3 on the clock. Whereas here, we had no way of knowing where north was because the clock is not in this plane, but is in the plane of the surface of this part. So if we thought of this as a clock face, it hasn't got any information about what time we are trying to position the wire. So that's it. That's all I wanted to cover today. When you're drawing wires from one point to another, try and avoid situations where you're not giving the game any information to tell it which way your up is. Because if you don't give it any information, it will give you inconsistent and quite randomized results. Thanks for watching and goodbye.